Cool. Producer giving us a thumbs up.
That wasn't a thumb. No.
An appendage went upwards.
Yeah. That was not a thumb.
All right, you're good. Go ahead and get settled in.
Welcome to our second official episode.
We have better lighting.
For now we have better. We have light. Now because we actually got started.
A really pretty background. It looks like it's a green screen. With this lighting, it looks like
it does. Oh wow, that's like a really nice piece of clip art. That's some really, that's a cool photo you found. Like, no, it's just my backyard. It's trees and stuff. Next time we'll let you guys know that we're gonna be streaming a little bit before we actually start streaming, and also sorry for the glare. Actually, I guess I could do this so that you don't have glare coming off of my glasses from the light that we're using. It's like 2.5 feet away from my head right now, because cameras are fun and light does things. We're gonna drink Lester Cup beers this week. Yeah, we got so these are the beers that we're gonna be drinking this week. That's all you're gonna see for now. So 6 local breweries doing a competition that is a biannual thing. Every 6 months they get together, they have a brew off, and tonight we are going to be drinking their pastry stouts that they are doing this winter season, beginning of 2021 that it is. Happy New Year to everyone.
Don't use up your 1 minute in the first 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah, no, I guess that's my 1 minute. No, but yeah, this is being filmed on January 14th. Yeah. So I think it is about time for us to
get beer.
Yeah, we do need to start with the drinky. Our magnificent producer Lala is going to be bringing us alcohol here shortly. We are going to go through 6 beers tonight, and because we actually have a scorecard this time, each of us has our own little scorecard. We are going to try and guess what these beers are. Again, in future, we're planning on not knowing what any of the beers that we're drinking are until we're actually drinking them. Like, not even style or where they're from. But this time it's a little bit different because, hey, there's a local brewer competition that we must check out. So that is the thing that is happening today.
And there'll be a slight change in how our content is coming out. We kind of adjusted it a little bit. There'll be a version of this going on YouTube that's pretty heavily edited by myself, and we have an editor now. And also this unedited version will be going on the Patreon.
Yes.
And then we have an after hours that will also be going on the Patreon. And that's just after we finish filming and we kind of screw around. And you get to meet the producer more.
All right. So we have our first beers approaching us.
You have to guess what these are now.
All right. So, first off, cheers. See what we got here. Really sweet. Of course, these are all going to be sweet because they're pastry stouts. That's got some.
I think that's the green.
Well, Bellwether did the Dr. Carrot. Black Label did a salted caramel. Humble Abode did a tiramisu stout. Mountain Lakes did a hot cross buns. Grain Shed did a panettone stout. And Whistlepunk did a French toast milk stout. Yeah, this has got to be the Grain Shed.
Yeah, it's Grain Shed.
That fennel seed in there lets itself be known.
Grain Shed, yes.
I'm pretty sure that's the Grain Shed. Ooh, yes.
I got another one coming in.
These are a couple of my favorite glasses.
Oh. They're Belgians.
I'm drinking some water to cleanse my palate before I dive into this. Yes, it's from New Belgian Brewing Company, which makes one of my favorite, just go to the store, buy it beers.
The hell?
Fat Tire.
It's so mild. So mellow.
That's just like standard stout to me. That doesn't taste like it's got any extra kind of stuff on it.
Yeah, it's so mellow. I think it might be the no, because it might be the tiramisu because it's kind of getting like a coffee aftertaste.
A little bit, yeah. I'll have to wait on that one. Ooh. With the Mallard glasses.
Mallard glasses. I love these cups. I love the duck.
Take a minute here. I'm gonna do this tasting properly, asshole.
I am taking sips.
Now what we need is a spit bucket for the water so we don't fill up on it.
Fucking water.
I think this one's a tiramisu.
Yeah. I recognize that chocolate taste. I'm not a chocolate person, but this is actually really good. If it is, it's tiramisu. If it's not, then obviously we're wrong.
Obviously we're failures as human beings.
If you can't identify your beer,
You can't identify this beer just by having a sip. You've never had it before. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
To which my response is generally, a lot. How much time do you have? What's wrong with you? Well,
where do we stop? Whoa.
That's cinnamon.
That is French toast.
Yeah, that's got to be the
That's the
French
French toast.
Man.
French toast. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Well, it's either the French toast or the hot cross buns, because there's definitely cinnamon in that shit.
It tastes like a pastry.
Yeah, well, as it should, because it's a pastry stout. Next round.
Oh god, it tastes like a roasted. I gotta be hot cross bun because it tastes like a cinnamon bun. This one. This is in the Porcelain cup. Whoa, that's French. No, that's a salted caramel, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I think that is the caramel.
We're getting laughed at.
Yeah,
so
maybe. Let's see what we got here. All right, we're on to our final brew here.
Final sample. Final brew.
Final tasty thing. Ready? Drink.
That's Dr. Carrot.
That's carrot. I recognize this as what I drink at home.
Like, this is the one that I've had before, I think.
A lot.
I think that's the carrot. I guess we'll find out here in a moment, because we are being presented with things. Actually, before we know what they are, we do need to rate these, and we need to figure out which ones we need to, we don't know what they are, we're just guessing what they are.
Yeah,
but of these things, which, oh man, I'm like, okay, which one was that? Was it this one?
This could be hard. I just realized I have Link's hairstyle and you have Rhett's. You're the bearded man, I'm the twink.
That's really good. Super fucking digging that one.
Yeah, I gotta go with that. Our producer is laughing at us. She knows what these are. So when we're guessing horribly wrong.
Yeah, she is every time we start drinking these and we're trying to figure out what they are, she's just like, she's like, I know what you're fucking drinking.
Muttley laugh in the background.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's. I appreciate it.
Okay, so favorite cereal is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch beer.
You know what? I think
I can identify one of them. Maybe.
I don't know. What's your preference so far? Because
this one has got to be
number one. Yeah. All right. So we actually both think that whatever is in these glasses is the number one pick. This I guess whatever this is our pick for the Lester Cup because it's the fucking tastiest
Oh
of
my
all
god.
of these beers.
Yeah.
I
mean,
God. But I don't know how long.
It's also really thick. Like it's almost like syrup. I kind of like the mouthfeel of it too. Like it's not. Yeah, coats the tongue.
I really like that one. Yeah, God, I have to say that my top two are.
Whoa.
Let's knock some shit around here. Yeah, I'd have to say that that these two are my top picks. I know that you guys can't see, but whatever's in the perfectly clear ones and the ones that are in the Deschutes. Well, yeah, I've got a Deschutes glass. He's got a Widmer glass. I know that those are the same beers. So yeah, I guess whatever that one is. What are we imbibing here? What's this one right here in the Deschutes / Widmer glasses?
The Widmer Deschutes is hot cross buns.
Oh
shit.
So that's the cinnamon roll one.
Fucking A.
which
Go
I was
Mountain
excited
Lakes.
for.
God damn, man.
Dude, and I have been to all of these breweries several times. Mountain Lakes is a very small brewery downtown that's been having issues through the plague because of very small space and not really being able to do a whole lot and lack of hours and stuff. I'm really damn good beer. Keep up the good work, dude.
As soon as we can, we'll drop in for a visit.
Yeah, no. As far as a very palatable, like I would get schnockered on that. But what do we got in the clear glasses?
So the clear is Humble Abode's tiramisu.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
What was your guess on that?
I think our guess
Was
the
the tiramisu because we tasted coffee.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
What's in the New Belgium ones? Because
That's the salted caramel.
that's the salted caramel.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what do we got for what's this?
Allard.
I hope I don't butcher this, but Panettone Stout.
Oh yeah, because it's got that. Yeah, that's got that fennel in it that you can taste.
It has
I
apricot
do
flavoring
like
in it. There are two more you don't know about.
Yes. What are in the Bill Breaker and
Fail sale?
yeah.
That's the French toast.
Okay.
And the littles are, you guessed it right, Dr. Carrot. But we have had that frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that French toast milk stout. That is damn tasty. But I think the hot cross buns is better than the milk toast stout.
All right. Well, we will.
And as far as like a pastry stout and something that tastes like a pastry, yeah.
All right. Well, we will vote.
Yeah.
We have a pen and probably.
I don't know that we actually need a pen because we can go online with these little things that we have here.
Oh yeah, it's got a unique voting code.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and do that a little bit later. Yeah, wow. As far as just like what I think is the best stout here, as far as what I think is the actual best, like I would drink it all the time kind of stout. It's definitely this one, which we get to. Can we have
Tiramisu is clear.
Can I have the thingy, please, so that we can?
I just want to share.
All right.
Voted.
Yeah. The tiramisu one, I think, is probably of these things either that or the salted caramel. No, the salted caramel is good. Like it's a good stout, but I think if it weren't for the novelty of the pastry flavor stuff, I wouldn't normally go these two beers, the hot cross buns and the French toast, aren't beers that I think I would order on a normal basis. But that tiramisu stout I would. But you don't like chocolate, so
That's the only thing about it I can recognize the chocolate taste as something that just, for me, chocolate just tastes like bad milk. I don't know why. Probably because I'm allergic to it, but
that blows goats.
yeah.
And just for the viewers, some of these beverages do have lactose in it. So if you're lactose intolerant, there are a couple on there that you might want to read off to them that they should avoid.
Well, probably
Could
all.
avoid.
Actually, yeah, Bellwether, the tiramisu, Bellwether, Humble Abode, Mountain Lakes, Grand Shed, and Whistlepunk all say that they contain lactose. I would not be surprised if the Black Label one also contained lactose, but it doesn't say that it does, so it doesn't. You know, and that might actually be one of the reasons why, out of all of these things, I prefer that one stout. Because whenever you make a milk stout, you add lactose to it, it does change the flavor profile. So, I guess I'm not as much of a fan of milk stouts as I am non-normal stouts, but that is an experiment for another show or 2 or 5 or however many we wind up drinking, because after this, apart from going to breweries, we're really not going to know what the hell's going on. Of course, we don't really usually know what the hell's going on.
I mean, we set the date for this long before any alcohol was decided on for it.
Yeah.
So-
We knew that we were going to do this, so we didn't know what we were going to drink, and we were like, alright, we're going to have somebody go buy us beer, we can't know what it is, and then we found out that the Lester Cup was happening, and I had to buy a 6-pack. Okay, maybe I didn't have to, but I had to. So, we have a lot of beer to get through, so...
Yes. And I tried to do research on the Lester Cup, but what I ended up finding out is that it's kind of just between breweries. Like, there's no public event for it or anything.
Well, not this year, no.
Even previously, there wasn't a lot of one.
What they've done in past is they have each brewery make their beer, and then all of the breweries have their beers available, and some of the other people's beers available as well. And you go in and drink the beers, and you vote on one that you like. Well, this time, because of the plague, not everybody can go to one place, or even all of the places. So they're selling 6-packs. So you, at least for a little while, still have time. Just as winter 2021, we probably should have looked at how long this is running, but as of today, the 14th, there's still plenty of time to go pick up a 6-pack and vote. And check out these beers yourself, decide which ones you like or don't like, vote, and see who gets the cup. We'll be announcing the results on a later show. And our next show is planned to be at Bellwether Brewing here in Spokane. So,
Yep.
that's about 2 weeks out, and that's all we know about that so far, apart from the fact that we're going to go hang out with probably Dave and Randy over there and drink all their beer. You better watch out, birds. We're coming to drink all your beer. Just a little bit of each of them. But not.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody at the Iron Goat, the assistant brewer there, and she was saying that I was like, yeah, we usually try to come in and drink try all of your beers, and she's like, well, if you wanted to do a flight of all of them, and she's looking at them and she's like, that's at least 4 flights, worth of beer.
Well, yeah, that's probably like if you went to a tap house or something like that. If you just go to a brewery and go, I want all of the brews that you make, you're probably going to get a smaller selection. Now, when you go to I don't know, Bellwether, who had 18, 19 of their own beers on tap.
Well, that's what Iron Goat has. They're like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
multiple
Iron Goat
flights
has
because they have an industrial
Iron Goat has
size
a whole bunch of stuff too. Yeah.
of beer.
It's nice to live in a town where there's 20 breweries within a half hour, 45-minute drive.
And they all have a lot of their own stuff.
There's a lot of breweries that have their own stuff. There are breweries that have other breweries' beers at them, just to be like, hey, here's another local guy, check this stuff out.
And they all talk to each other, so it's cool.
I think that's kind of how it is everywhere. That's just how it goes. But it's always good to see local beers. Support your local breweries. It's fuck Coors, fuck Busch.
Support your local brewers.
I actually, I don't buy Elysian beer anymore usually. Not because I don't like it, but because Coors bought Elysian. And that kind of sucks. yeah. Yeah, no, that's really, really nice.
Yeah.
I am digging that. All right. French toast again. That's
This is the hot cross buns.
I see we have a whole one viewer. Hi there, one viewer. I hope that you're enjoying the show so far. Yeah. It's interesting. Like, it's somewhat distracting to have a light right where it actually.
God damn, does it ever like?
Super producer, would you mind pulling that light back just a little teeny tiny itty bitty bit? Like, you're gonna have to pick that up because that base is heavy as fuck. It's like a solid brass base on that lamp. Here. I do this. Okay. That actually does make a
I
huge
can look
difference.
up now.
It's amazing how a few inches will make a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
what
just
she
prove
said.
that this isn't a green screen because now it looks.
Yeah, no, this
now
is.
it looks like absolutely a green screen the way that is. The way that
Yeah,
that's
this is
lit.
this is
This
just my backyard.
perfect. That is.
Yeah.
That is actually a perfect idea for lighting because it's white light and now it just. Yeah.
What kind of green screen do you guys have? Actually, it's blue.
So it's a new thing called purple screen. It moves. That's why
I think it's really neat
light's
how
changing.
purple
organic.
and like purple and brown are colors that don't actually exist. Our brain just kind of makes them up. Like brown is just orange, but not really orange.
So I see yellow as a version of orange because I'm colorblind. So I see it as brown.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
I can see all the colors. Well, not all of the colors, because I know people like your mom has that thing where she sees all of the colors, like 2 different shades of black. No, it's just black. No, that's 2 different shades of black.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool.
Good for that.
Like, I'm kind of glad that I don't have that kind of distinction.
You say what?
Brown is actually all of the primary colors mixed into one with different levels of each shade. And that makes skin's tones
Cosmetologist
natural
with
colors.
a color degree.
I'm just thinking of like
It's
light spectrum and how our eyes work.
I mean,
I know, but you were talking about brown, so I made a comment that brown
Yeah.
is all of the primary colors mixed with white or black.
when if you took all the finger paints when you were
Well,
little
yeah,
kid,
like-
spaghetti, you get poop brown.
Yeah,
so.
Crayola will definitely make poop brown if you take the you take the red and the yellow and the blue. And it's like, for me, whenever I hear primary colors, there's this thing in my brain that's like, which ones? Because there's primary colors for solids, and there's primary colors for light. So solid primary colors are red, yellow, and blue.
Well, that's where you get into the differentiations between
Well-
tones and shade.
Exactly, but for light, it's red, green, and blue.
Sure.
So, like, I understand the difference in how they mix. It's just one of those things, like, whenever I hear primary colors, I'm like, all right, I need to know which primary colors we're talking about here, because it makes the difference.
I don't really think about like. I don't know. It's just weird. Whenever I see all in like history books of how they figured out how to make certain colors, and then you look at how, like in modern times, we make different food colorings and stuff. Like back in the day, if you had a purple, if you had a purple sugar bun and you gave it to the king, like that thing is like the most expensive sugar bun on the face of the freaking planet.
Yeah, because periwinkles are fucking tiny, and you gotta grind up a bunch of them shells to be able to make fucking shit purple.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dyes across the history of humanity are an interesting. Dyes, paints, how we've managed to
Nowadays we dye stuff
do
red with
things.
bugs.
There's a really cool, there are specific alloys that are used in Japanese metalworking. One of them, there's shakudo and shibuichi. And shakudo is this, I think shakudo is it's like 90 5% gold, 5% copper, and it patina's black. So when you see like when you see a bunch like if you look at old if you look at like samurai swords and you look at the tsuba, you look at that hilt, and you see like all the inlay and all the shit that's been done on that. It's often like copper, silver, gold, shakudo, and shibuichi. And shakudo and shibuichi are two separate metals that have like their own, like they're two separate alloys that have their own special thing. I think shibuichi is like 4 parts copper, 1 part gold or silver. I can't remember. But they both have like these really neat colors to them. Like, you sir are wearing denim pants. Now we have denim of all sorts of colors, but originally it was just straight up fucking blue.
Yeah.
And where do we get denim? Well, from Nîmes, France. Okay, Nîmes. And that's some weird shit. We found out a really cool way to make canvas. We only make it blue though. Oh, cool. What are you gonna call it? Well, it's from France. It's from Nîmes. Guess we'll call it denim. Welcome to English, folks.
Denim.
Denim. Mario loves denim. Are you kidding me?
Hey, you see his overalls, man?
Okay, so you can't tell now because I don't have a mustache, but if I had one, I would look like Luigi. And the producer starts snickering. Rightly so. Also, a thing that we forgot to mention, horsepower on all of these beers is at least 7%. The lowest is 7%.
They're all like
so,
9s and
we
8s.
got a 9, 3/8, an 8.5, and a 9.3. Thank you, Randy, at Bellwether, for a 9.3% pastry stout. And I only mention him by name because he's the only one of the brewers that I currently know by name. I'm sure that will change as this show goes
Yep,
on.
eventually you're just gonna walk in and be like, oh, I remember you.
I get a strong taste of raisin in that, yeah.
Yeah.
I taste more raisin than fennel.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, like, I really like how they did the hot cross buns and the French toast.
Wait, I thought you already bought a 6-pack of this that you shared with some buddies.
I was going to do that, but it got canceled because one of the people wound up having like a wicked, vicious, bad, mad headache, and the other person just did not feel like hanging out with anybody or being around people at all after work, which I totally understand. So that'll be postponed. Yeah, I have another 6-pack of these that I'm supposed to be drinking with a couple people. That'll get ironed out eventually. Yeah, no, I was supposed to have cheated on this and already. Oh, this is this beer. This is this beer. But yeah, no, this time I did not. The scheduling on that did not work as I had planned. I guess it wouldn't really. I mean, it would only be kind of be cheating in the aspect. I would probably.
Yeah, I guess so.
Be able to guess what the things were beforehand.
I like how this show started off with color theory as our topic of discussion. I mean, green. I always find it funny that green is like the most common color. Like, it's super easy to make, and it's common in a lot of new things. Like when computers first came out, what color was the text?
Green.
Green. What color was analog backgrounds?
Well, it was all green just because it was easy. Well, I mean, shit, it was a huge thing when they started to come out with amber displays. Like, it's not green!
They look so cool. Like, honestly, if you have
I
like
used to have a brother word processor with amber screen on it. Like, alright, cool. It's a fancy typewriter, but yeah, cool.
I liked, I had a buddy when he went to Hit Boy, one of the full wrist things with like his phone would slot into it.
Yeah.
And you could change the colors on it, and you always had it set to amber.
I recall when my good friend Lance, who was way ahead of the curve on a lot of shit, started to try and design a armband thing to be able to keep his phone/tablet on. And basically he was like, all right, he wanted to be able to carry his tech around with him all the fucking time, and he came up with a couple of prototypes of things that you could wear where you could just attach bits of technology, like your phone or your tablet or your iPod or whatever, and you could just wear it on your arm or wear it on your leg or that sort of thing. And he started working on it, like tried to get some stuff going, didn't really go all that well. And then maybe, I don't know, a year after he got into doing that and was actually really looking into it,
Yeah.
he started seeing stuff that he had designed being sold online. He didn't put any of his stuff up, but it was obvious that he was not the only person that was having this idea. And now it's far more common to be able to get something that's exactly that, like a sleeve that you can get for your phone that you can put on your arm that you can. So yeah, interesting. That also makes me think of a time where a friend of mine was like, I came up with a great idea for a folding knife design. I gotta patent it before anybody figures it out. And I went to the mall, and I went to a knife shop in the mall later that week and saw the knife that he was just designing. I felt really sorry for him, but I was like, yeah, I guess that really is a good idea because it's already in production. Like, I've got a great idea. Yeah, well, apparently you're not the first one.
The thing is, too, though, like, you could make a full Pip-Boy thing, because they have those sensors now. They give them to diabetic people. They attach onto you, and they can tell you your blood pressure, your blood sugar levels, if you're losing blood, like, they can detect injury now.
If I had the buddy, if I just had, expendable funds, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get one. There's a thing called the Aura Ring. It's basically a Fitbit, but it's a ring.
I've seen those. Yeah.
Like, it's all of the sensory data that you would get, and you're just like, bloop, where's the ring? It tracks all your shit. Like, alright, that's kind of cool. That's a lot better than a watch, which I'll be like, fuck this, it's getting in my way. A ring I can deal with. A watch, I don't wear them. Yep. They frustrate me. You know what time it is? Probably not.
I still like there was a research paper thing that I read of somebody was talking about, like, you know, yeah, we could get like bracelets for everybody. They like clip into your wrist, and then they tell you what your like health status is. And the guy was like, but then we need to research what would a real human health bar look like. How much damage would that be on your health bar if you like broke your leg?
But see, and this is why hit points do not, like, hit points in a health bar do not work for any kind of, this is why damage systems in all RPGs are a little bit fucked up, because you can't get, it's very difficult to get actual realistic damage.
You can't poke somebody in the ankle and do 4,000 damage.
I mean,
Achilles.
you could, if you're at that point, you're talking like, I did something that sent something directly up your femoral artery into your, like, I did a thing that made a little rock go straight up into your brain and you're dead.
I'm talking about like somebody just poking you with a knife.
Yeah, no. To quote the great work of role-playing game, I don't know. There's a game called Whole, which stands for Human Occupied Landfill. It's fucking awesome. But one of the combat rules in Whole is a tin spoon doth not a Perry make. And the example that they give is, let's say Steve has a spoon. And Jerry has a 4-foot iron girder. Jerry is ungodly fucking strong. He's not happy. And is ready to swing on Steve with his girder. And is going to probably knock his head clean off of his fucking shoulders. In other tabletop role-playing game simulations, you could parry with pretty much anything. Like, yeah, cool. Does not work like that. It's like,
weight is a thing.
Yeah, no, the amount of mass that's headed towards your skull at the moment, the velocity and the force that's going into that right now, you need to get the fuck out the way or die. Yeah, that's not really an option. I have issues with combat in all tabletop role-playing games for a variety of reasons, and for each system, I have different issues. And that's because each system is set up just a little bit differently to try and, like, make up for some other system.
Yeah. And sorry, I just totally zoned out when listening to that. I
How could you squirrel brain?
because I like making tabletop systems that are more stable. I like adjusting stuff and finding ways to create. I made one for a while based on the Steven Universe.
I remember you telling me about that.
It actually runs pretty smoothly. A lot of it is kind of up to like, oh well, yeah, no figure. Of course, if you're gonna be swinging a giant crystal sword at somebody and they try to block sideways with a rapier, the DM should know that that's not you if not might definitely will break your rapier, possibly kill you with the downswing.
I was gonna say, well, it depends on the glass and the rapier, but odds are that guy with that little tiny like metal dowel, that sharp metal dowel, is probably not gonna stop that slab. Now it's probably gonna it'll probably fuck up both of them, because when the glass blade actually finally makes it through and does what it's gonna do, there's gonna be chips from the steel hitting it. It might break when it does that. I would be willing to bet there would be damage. Well, the glass is definitely going to have some problems, and the rapier is also definitely going to have some. Oh, crystal.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to depend on the crystal itself, but yeah, I don't hold up too much hope for the rapier.
Yeah. If not bending it, probably breaking it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're getting into science now. I love the fact that quartz crystals are technically classified as neither a solid nor a liquid, because they are technically not solid. One of the weird examples of this I saw was that it is a vibrational constant, which means that if you put a cube of ice on like a flat piece of quartz, the ice will immediately start to melt.
Okay. Well, I would assume that if you have
even if it's not warm.
Like, this is a thing I'll have to try.
Yeah.
Because it gets way colder than freezing out here. I can grab a slab of quartz.
Leave it out here and then put an ice cube on it.
I have an experiment.
Experiment. We have some at home. We actually, I tried it. I left it out on our back porch and I sat out there with it until I could put my hand on the quartz and know that it was cold. I set an ice cube on it, and the ice cube started to do that, like sliding around, and then a pool of water formed.
That's a thing that I will have to check out.
I was like,
thing that I just okay. So two things that I've recently discovered, I have discovered. Hey, look, the science I did.
Science, man.
Things that I have heard or read about in the last little bit. One, tardigrades are more badass than we fucking thought.
Tardigrades are awesome. They exist on the moon now.
Well,
we left them up there.
There are at least tardigrade bodies up there. As to whether or not they're still alive,
they're probably
we're
comatose.
unsure.
I mean,
well, we know that they can deal with the vacuum of space for over 10 days because, like, we found some outside the fucking space station.
We leaked tardigrades into the...
There was somewhat recently a study that was done with ultraviolet light. There were some people that were trying to figure out how well various organisms held up to strong ultraviolet light, and if any of them could. Well, apparently there are some species of tardigrades that turn UV light just into regular light. They just blast the shit out of them with pure UV, and they fluoresce.
You trying to kill me? I'm gonna glow.
Just I'm gonna turn heat into light. Cool. I'm gonna turn this one kind of light into another kind of light. You do that, little bug thing. They can survive incredibly cold. They can survive incredibly hot. But apparently, human body-ish temperature water, not so good. Like around 60-ish Celsius.
You can boil them to death, yeah.
No, around 60 Celsius. Apparently, they only last for a couple days. Like, cold stuff, hot stuff, cool. Around a certain water temperature.
Around stable life form temperatures.
Well, no, here's the thing. It's not just stable life form temperatures. This relates directly to another thing that I just recently heard about, which is the discovery of various states of water right around 60 Celsius. So, it actually goes through like stages as it goes from colder to warmer. But the electrical conductivity changes, the surface tension changes. Like there are actual like physical differences between like water at this exact part of a temperature transition change and this exact part of a temperature transition change. When it's like at just the right point, it takes on these various properties. And I'm thinking that it's at one of those points where the tardigrade is the weakest, where there's something about one of the aspects of water itself that changes, that just eats through that shit and just
It's like the
wrecks it.
particles are bumping it too hard. Or
Yeah, like
something.
there's something about it. Like there's got to be something about like the surface tension, conductivity, and the amount of oxidization, and like how much that water, how much that acid is actually getting into stuff. Because like, you know, water's an acid; it's not neutral.
Yeah, it is definitely not neutral. If you add a reactive base to it, it explodes.
It's like water is perfectly harmless.
No,
I think there are a lot of rocks that would disagree.
I think there might be like a planet. So a little bit of disagreeing with you there.
It's it's so weird how like over 70% of our planet is water. Like, over 70% of our bodies are water, and this is like the only planet that we've found that has this much water on it. Yeah, there's comets. There's a few places that have like ice, and there's a few places that have lots of steam, or like one planet that has molten plasma for an atmosphere. It's I guess it's not molten plasma. It's just like, yeah, no, one side of this planet is stupid fucking hot. The other side of the planet is stupid fucking cold.
That
Oh,
I got the yin yang planet,
yeah.
or how the heart on Pluto is a bubbling pool of poisonous water, or just liquid, basically.
Well, I was gonna say it's gotta be some sort of like
It's like its base is supposedly water, but the rest of it's
that's the thing that I would want to look into.
Chemical
That
soup.
is not. Yeah, chemical soup, I believe, but water, not so much.
Well, no.
Our planet is weird for the amount of water that it has. On it.
yeah. It's not like even a large majority of water. They just think that the way it moves, it should be like it has water in it.
Also, any aliens that are watching this show, yeah, it's probably safer to stay away. It's probably actually you've probably been doing the right thing.
Yeah, we're kind of dealing with a virus right now that pictures of it look like somebody took a foam ball and attached a bunch of fucking blow darts to it.
Why do we call it the coronavirus? Because it looks like the sun.
Looks like the sun if we try to fuck with its atmosphere. It's
Does
only
the
flare.
sun have an atmosphere?
Yeah. Technically, the moon has an atmosphere too. It just is a very shitty atmosphere.
Well,
Does the moon
no,
and sun, right?
the moon doesn't really have an atmosphere.
I thought it had like a very small.
I don't think so. I don't think that it's big enough to hold on to an atmosphere. Mars kind of has one, to my knowledge.
They have sandstorms and stuff there. To have wind, you gotta have an atmosphere. Oh well, yeah, no, I guess yeah.
No,
the
to have
moon doesn't
wind-
have.
You don't have to have atmosphere to have wind.
Really? I thought you had to have an atmosphere to like have wind currents.
No, you have to have a temperature differential to have wind currents. All you need is hot and cold. If you have any kind, like if you, the hot's gonna move to the cold part,
And the cold's gonna move
to the hot part. Thermodynamics.
Weird how that
Behold,
works.
There's another one of those planets that's like hot as fuck on one side and cold as shit on the other. Its atmosphere, like it rains rocks. Like one side of the planet boils, like pretty much all of whatever a lot of the rock or metal would be, and effectively vaporizes it, and it turns into a cloud, and it blows back around to the cold side where it fucking rains rocks.
Oh, there was also.
And then it turns into the sun and it fucking boils the shit out of the rocks.
There was also a planet that like its entire core is predicted to be made of diamond, basically, and it rains liquid.
Why not?
like,
Carbon is one of the, like...
It rains liquid compressed carbon.
Where
It's
is carbon on the periodic table again?
One.
I think it's... Oh, yeah! That's right! It's the single most common element in the universe! Yeah, buy diamonds, because they're rare.
No.
Happy Valentine's. No, that's in a month. Never mind.
You want to beat somebody to death, just make sure that you got a good, solid piece of gold.
You want to talk about a thing that's actually rare and we sell for dirt cheap and we need to not do that? Helium. We're going to run out of helium in like 30 fucking years. There's no reason why it should be as cheap as it is. It's really just because American balloon companies decided they were going to lobby to be able to keep the prices down low as fuck.
Can't wait till people
Like,
try
we
to
need
figure out
that
how to
shit
get
to
it
make
back out of the atmosphere.
LCDs. We like, helium is very, very technologically useful. It's better than just fucking, like, yeah, it makes balloons float. Do you have any other, like, there are so many other gases that we could pump into a fucking balloon and it would float that aren't that hard to,
I thought about that like the other day, and I actually looked up what helium is used for, and I found out how like amazingly technologically useful it is, and how scientifically important it is, and the fact that we're running
like,
out and they haven't
we
figured
need
out how to
that
get
shit.
it back.
We need that shit. And
then
we're
it's-
just la la la.
And then it's like, and yeah, what do you hear about helium being used for? Putting it in fucking plastic balloons or like
Balloons.
latex balloons so they can float.
Actually, no, that's the thing. I think that's a thing people could probably comment on this about. Like, go ahead, leave a comment. What else do you know that helium's used for? Apart from fucking
Don't Google
balloons.
it. Just saying it. And don't
no,
use the
no,
LCD.
no. Like, yeah, okay. LCD screens. We need helium to make those.
What else?
I know there's other stuff. I just can't remember right now because beer. Oh yeah, no, that's good. Did our super producer get to taste any of these? Which
Which one did you taste?
Carrot, hot cross buns.
if you haven't had it
Just
yet,
grab it.
just grab a taste.
Snap some. You're in the show too, just because you don't talk much, because you're
might
like,
see a
making
hand.
sure that our stuff isn't breaking.
This is some nice. I would say high
I tried
octane
that
beer,
one.
but high octane beer to me starts at 10%. So I'd say.
Ooh. Is that the caramel?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That is the salty caramel.
Yeah. I like what my hair is doing right now. It looks good.
I don't like what my hair is doing right now. It's thinning.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
bad.
on the back of your head. Yeah, on the top of my head, I think. That's probably real bad.
Oh wow, Jesus, that works even worse than the light.
Oh, no, actually, my hair just like, I have a bald spot where I have a scar. I got brain.
So anybody that's got long hair,
damage.
don't wear it in a ponytail all the time, especially a really tight one. You'll get tension alopecia, which basically means you're literally tearing your hair out of your head. I didn't know that until it was too late, but hey.
It's never too late to stop it.
Yeah, there is
You
that.
can actually grow hair back, but it will grow in small and wispy. It'll
Maybe
probably
the
start
wispier
out
than
like
it.
baby hair because it's got to start from scratch again.
Got the peach fuzz on the head.
It's actually considered soft and feathery.
You could literally be like Gandalf.
It starts out soft and feathery, and then it gets coarser.
I hear feathery, and I just start thinking of feathers.
We call that, I believe, if I am correct, it's called velos hair, which is the first phase of hair.
Yes. It is velos hair.
We cover so many
That is
topics
a
in the
thing.
show. It's great.
That's because we know a bunch of random bullshit.
That's why we started.
Fucking
this show to
trivia
begin with.
fiends.
I
I
miss trivia in the bar. I miss trivia now. I played trivia.
That is a thing.
Globe
That is
not that
totally
long
a
ago.
fucking thing.
No, that was bingo.
No, I played trivia afterwards. I went back and I played trivia.
I
I got invited to.
I miss
stop
going
by.
into a bar and playing trivia and being
wear your
the only
mom's.
person on a team playing against the entire bar of teams and coming in first, second, or third, like placing.
I stopped in to say hi to somebody at the Globe, and I got wrangled into about 20 minutes worth of
When do they do?
trivia. They do it occasionally, like outside. They do trivia and bingo with the queens.
I know that one of the local places, Happy Trails to Brews out in Indian Trail. I believe they still do a karaoke thing every Wednesday night. I don't think they do it in person anymore because of the plague.
I've been trying to get like times and dates for when the Globe is doing stuff, but Jason is really bad about sharing when stuff is happening. He always like shares it like an hour before, and I'm like, I'm already at a bar. I don't.
I was gonna say, if you want proof, we don't have a green screen. Remember how it was right back there?
Like an hour ago.
Not so much now, as you can see.
Now it really looks like we.
And that light is really bright. We gotta do something about this. We'll get it figured out at some point.
It's kind of nice to have everything well lit. This is the best look you guys have gotten of us. How does it feel?
To being well lit.
I'm well lit and burning.
Well, I know I'm already. Well, that's one. That would be 1 pint of 8% beer that I've had so far, because that was 2 half pints of 8% beer. I can currently math. Give me another couple glasses. Maybe not.
Oh, you'd still be able to math. It'll just be broken math. It'll just be like 5.
2 plus 2 is 12.
Carry the 4.
It's not
87. Like just.
Carpenter, I drink another drink.
Let me tell you about the time that I went to the satellite, and I was there really late because I had just gotten off work, and I went in and I sat down and I got my food and I was tired as shit, and I think I had a Bloody Mary and a steak, and then I went home, and I just like my bill was maybe $20. Like,
you said Bloody Mary, and like I just started to drool a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Like, wow.
No veggies.
No. Oh no, she doesn't work there anymore. There's a bar around here that I've gone to for a very long time, where during football season, every year, God, probably a decade. I don't know how long that gal worked there, but like every year, this one lady made pickles from cucumbers in her garden that were about big.
Gherkins.
Yep. She did her own pickled gherkins, and she brought them in from her home to the bar just for Bloody Mary Sundays.
Oh, hell yeah.
Football and, like, I'm not a huge sports ball fan. I will sit and drink and watch sports. Like, if I'm at a bar and sports are on, I'll probably watch the sports.
I like to watch people
because
argue over a
it's
ball.
a glowing box, and I'm like, ooh, look, people doing a thing.
Colors.
I'm more likely to watch a sports thing than I am to watch a news thing. Although, I was in a bar the other night, and they had Jeopardy on, and I was like, it's this. It's this. It's this.
It just makes you miss playing the actual game.
This. I don't know. Oh, I did know that. It's this. I did not know that.
I have a trivia education.
What?
I don't know how it happened.
Oh my God, Jeopardy! I would like to say, kind of sad that Alex Trebek is gone. I'm looking forward to seeing who our next Jeopardy host is going to be. But also, at the same time, kind of fuck Alex Trebek for really just for one moment, when somebody was on the show and they're like, oh, I'm into nerdcore, I'm into kind of geeky stuff, and he's like, oh, so you're a loser. And I was just like, dude, do you have any idea how many nerds and geeks, and like, do you know how many of the people that are watching this show right now you just slapped in the face verbally?
And half your damn crew.
Yeah, like,
How
do
much
not
nerds are
make
paid?
fun of people that are smart when you're doing a trivia show.
But then they had the audacity to put a Sonic question in trivia, and everyone was like, what is Mario?
What?
Yeah, there was. They were trying to guess what it was. A small blue hedgehog that liked chili dogs, and
Sonic.
what is Sonic, right? And someone was like, what is Mario?
No!
An Italian plumber.
An Italian
And they had
plumber
some other
who's tripping on
stupid
shrooms
answers
perpetually.
too, and I was like,
Well,
see?
he's supposedly an Italian plumber, but
Go back to sleep, Luigi.
And it talked about how he collected coins and he ran really fast and
Oh, he didn't
wanna-
collect coins,
you know what?
he
No,
collected
there's
rings, but-
Rings.
there
whatever,
needs to
rings.
be a Mario. There needs to be a Super Mario game where you are running around with a fucking pipe wrench, slugging on motherfuckers. Like,
No, you know what?
But
Actually,
instead you get Dr. Mario and
Yeah.
the flower that
Dr.
turns...
Mario was fucking badass.
Okay, I'm not dissing it. I'm
but
just
also,
saying.
like, Mario 64 is one of my favorite Mario games, and I still play it to this day because I have
Okay.
a ROM. And you got to punch Goombas in the face.
So, if you have any interest in playing the Mario 64 port to, I think, Switch, yes, they have done a port of Mario 64 to Switch.
But
Now, here's the thing. There's one thing that they fixed. The backwards jump glitch.
Oh.
well, now
So
there's like
speed runs on the Wii version of Mario 64 are going to be interesting to watch because they just took a big mechanic out of that whole concept.
Switch
so
or
you
Wii?
literally can't like do the popping up
Switch.
onto
They don't make
the,
anything for the Wii anymore.
Yeah,
They made the
you-
Wii, and then they made the Wii U.
because they realized their horrible mistake in
No.
trying to make motion controls that simplistic.
That
Even though I really like the Wii, I really love the Wii.
Nintendo went about putting out the Wii U the wrong damn way because they did not give enough of an explanation as to the fact that that was a completely separate system, and they could have made it a peripheral.
Oh, it was fun. The Wii U is pretty cool.
Well, the Wii U is fucking awesome, and I think it's a really cool thing that they did. It's kind of like, to me, the Wii U is an adventure in Nintendo's field of things that they've put out that was just like
The weird controllers they've had throughout the years.
Okay, you want to talk about weird controllers? Let's talk about PlayStation and the lollipop.
Ah.
Actually, let's fucking not.
Let's talk about that Sega Genesis controller real quick. Philips CDI Play controller.
Moments. Yeah, you know, terrible moments in consoles. When Sega wanted to move over to CDs, but they were like, well, we need to make money off of every step in the process, and we can't, like, stop somewhere and figure out what we're doing first.
You try
So,
this one?
there's the Sega Genesis, which they have,
Which
which
one
they
is
come
that?
out with
I don't know.
the Sega CD attachment for. So you plug in a thing to the top of your Sega Genesis that now you can
that's
put
the Dr. Carrot, yeah.
CD games in, and you can play them. And then, like, within a year, they put out the Sega Saturn, which is
I think it's rare.
a different
by the way.
system that uses CDs. By the way, played a couple games on that. Super fucking cool. Knights is awesome. If you get the chance to play it, play it. It's fucking cool.
Well, first you gotta
also,
find the same
if you get the
Saturn.
chance to play it on, like, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because you can fuck with it and change the calendar settings on your PlayStation. Not PlayStation, god damn it. Sega Saturn. Knights had a thing incorporated into it where some of the scenery would change and some of the gameplay would change depending on the day.
Oh, so it sounds like
It snowed on Christmas. If you played that game when your console was set to be on Christmas Day, everything was white. It was fucking snowing everywhere. There was ice. It was fucking cool. I know they did a couple other things for other holidays and like certain times of the year.
Yeah.
But that's the one that I remember. It was just
Animal
like,
Crossing. Animal Crossing is one that you can also manipulate the calendar on it, and it like snows on Christmas. There's fireworks on
Yeah.
the 4th of July, and
It's fun.
you know.
See, Animal Crossing to me is just like an evolution of
Same.
Harvest Moon.
Oh yeah, Harvest Moon and
Which Harvest Moon is the first thing that like that
Stardew Valley was the other one that was.
I've
like
seen
that.
people do some crazy ass stupid shit on Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think
Dude.
Harvest Moon was probably
It's like one
I
of the
might be
first
wrong
ones.
on this. Probably wrong on this, but I think Harvest Moon was the first of those style of games that they did.
You know, I can't think of anything else, so I'm obligated to believe you.
Well, I also have 30 years of gaming under my belt,
And
and
we're at like 15, so yeah.
I have
closer to 20 or whatever.
personally laid hands on and played Nintendo, well, Commodore 64, Apple II, Nintendo, a Fairchild one time, a Fairchild system. That's way old shit.
I don't even know that one. I was about to say I played a lot of consoles because I started pretty old when my
Rare as
grandparents
fuck,
got me.
short-lived. I knew a dude that had like pretty much. I don't know where the dude got all the money, and I know he did a lot of drugs, but he had like pretty much every console that was ever fucking made. This dude legit had a Neo Geo, and like
Jesus.
fucking, I think he had 6 games for it. I know I only played 2 of them.
It
But
took me 2 years to negotiate getting a ColecoVision, for God's sake.
But yeah, no, that's. Oh yeah, Atari the Atari 2600, the
2300 and the 2600. And was there a 2800 or was that something else?
No, there's the 2600 and the 5200.
That's right.
Because it went 13, 26, 52. And every time I think 2600, I have 2 other thoughts that immediately pop into my head. One is the Hacker Quarterly, which is a magnificent magazine that everybody should look into. Hack the Planet, fuck authority, and the fact that 2600 is the, and actually it's the reason why 2600 magazine is named 2600 magazine. Captain Crunch used to give out whistles in their boxes of cereals, and they put out a tone that was at 2600 hertz.
Or hertz or decibels.
Yeah, hertz. Decibels is loudness.
Yeah,
If
I
it's
was gonna say
2600 decibels, somebody's body just fucking exploded.
I kind of want to see that.
Like, I don't.
Like, a giant sound system.
Well, okay, I do, but not
I know a
personally.
dog got barked at 117.
By the way, anybody that says if it's too loud, you're too old, I will make your fucking ears bleed. So anyway, Captain Crunch used to hand out whistles with their cereal, and apparently the 2600 tone that it would emit would let you make free long-distance phone calls if you just picked up a payphone and went into the fucking phone. Welcome to the beginning of hacking, fracking. Like this is how this shit
Crunch
starts.
whistle.
One of the like Captain Crunch is a legendary hacker,
He's the
and he
captain
was
of
known.
hacking.
Captain Crunch. He is a fucking legendary hacker, legendary fracker, because he was the dude that was like, oh, all right, well, what else can I do with this? And they found out that various tones were used every time you push a button on an old payphone, which don't really exist anymore in the U.S. Good luck finding a payphone, and none of this shit works anymore in this country. Maybe for somewhere else in the world, they probably have like backdated systems where you might be
India.
able to fuck around with shit. I don't even think.
India has US payphones installed. It's hilarious.
Well, they probably have U.S. style payphones, but as far as the systems that they're actually run on, it's completely fucking different.
Well, yeah. But
Like, I don't think that it's. There are probably places where it's still doable, where you can just play noises into a fucking payphone before you do anything, and your shit will be free because the phone, like, the system itself goes, oh, it made these noises, so you put in this much money, so go ahead and do your thing.
wasn't there that guy who like found out all the stuff you could hack with a taser? He like found out that a bunch of like various appliances that are paid can be like totally rewired if you just tase the right part of the circuitry.
Well, I mean, that's gonna work for a lot of shit. Like, if you overload a part of the circuitry on, like, yeah, no, that's.
It's kind of.
I need links on that. That
Yeah,
doesn't-
I need to look it up again because I was browsing through weird stuff through my YouTube, and there was a guy who was like, "I hacked the laundromat with a taser," and I was like, "Yeah."
That I would very much believe. That's because
I recall there being something about with some of the systems for coin acceptors. It passes a small electric current through the coin as it's being rolled through a certain point, and if the value, like, as long as the voltage is right on the other side, it goes, okay, this is an actual coin. It's not just somebody took a plug from an electrical box or some other random chunk of metal and hurled it down there. Like, all right, that was an actual piece of coinage. That's currency. All right, cool. That does not surprise me, because in machines like that, if you just give it the right current and go, it'll go, oh, money! Because that's all it's looking for.
Money is meaningless. Electrocute things to pay for your stuff.
Not even like, shit, there's still stuff where you can just put a fucking quarter on it, like drill a teeny tiny hole in a quarter, put it on a string.
Especially
Capitalism, go fuck yourself.
The laser scan ones even still accept that, apparently. Somebody tested it, like, on their own machine, and he was just like, I wonder if this still works, and
Apparently.
he was like, oh, well.
We still have one viewer. We're glad for the one viewer. Thanks, producer, for making sure that we're actually on track.
It's me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Another thing, too, is,
Yeah, no, I do like that. I really, I have a deep appreciation for the fennel that's in that Panettone Stout. Like, it gives it, like, this kind of nice little licorice back on it, where you get the, like, you can definitely taste the raisin. But yeah, no, it's like everything leads up to that fennel, and it just kind of
is good.
and it kind of fades off from there. It's nice. I like it. I dig it.
Well, how long have we been going? We might have to switch over to after hours.
5 something.
Huh?
Well, this is all gonna get carved down to be able to
it's
fit into
4:30.
YouTube.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the YouTube part, but we can switch over to the after hours stuff now if you want.
Are we actually live on YouTube right now?
We're live on Twitch. This is
See,
the recording stuff.
Yeah, see, we're not on, this is, anybody watching this right now is, well, actually, there's only one person watching this right now. We're gonna get carved, this is all gonna get carved down.
Well, we need to do an outro still. For
Okay.
YouTube.
Well,
We should probably do that soon. Since
I don't even know what you want to do for after hours, but I mean, I guess we can just kind of do I don't know what kind of.
after hours is like.
I just came here to drink beer and talk about random shit.
This was partially his idea.
It's my idea, but that doesn't mean I have any idea as to what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm here to drink beer and
You're
talk
the one
about
who
stuff.
even came up with the outro too. You have like a catchphrase.
Oh, that thing that we have to do that can just be edited at any point into the whole thing, and we don't actually have to do, like, right now. We could just, at the end of the show, say that, and just, like, boop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just reminding you that's a thing we need to do, so you don't just like get up and leave.
Yeah, I want to get up and leave, because I'm in my backyard.
I want to make them inside. Anyway,
If I go inside, it's because I have to pee, and I've had years of iron bladder training. I am prepared for the rest.
I am prepared
of
for the
this
kidney
beer.
poison that comes with holding it. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the amount of alcohol that I've consumed in my life is the only reason why I do not have kidney stones compared to the amount of caffeine that I have consumed.
when I stopped drinking,
I don't know how I don't have kidney stones.
When I stopped drinking for 3 weeks, I got kidney stones.
Probably my hyperglycemia.
Probably. Actually, it probably processed it too fast. Anyway, all right, we should probably start wrapping up. I know it's hard. I'm out. I'm going.
I'm mad at you
Why?
because you finished all of your. All right, so you're gonna have to take all of your beers and dump them into one glass. What's left of all of your beers?
All right, I'm doing. This is actually a thing that's happening. I'll put the cup right here.
Even though they can't really see it. It's
They
just
can
gonna-
kind of see the liquid pouring into it. I
Well,
guess.
drips. They're all of the rest of it into one glass, and I say this because
It's
you
gonna
have
be
to
like an
have
ounce.
something to be able to drink. Here's the thing with toasting. When you propose a toast, and
It's this much.
if someone proposes a toast, and you don't actually drink, like imbibe some of that liquid with that toast, that means that you do not agree with what that person has just said. Like, you might clink your glass, but if you don't actually drink, traditionally and societally, that is a sign that you do not agree with what that person has just said.
It depends on what you're toasting. I'm kind of curious now as what you're going to toast.
The same thing we always toast.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I get it now.
But I'd like to point this out as a thing. Like,
I sip a little bit.
don't clink and not drink. All right, this is a thing.
That can
Like,
be actually disrespectful to different cultures,
it's-
and you should be
it's-
a little bit sensitive to that.
Yeah, no,
It's drinking culture. Like,
it is a thing. Now, even if you've just got water, that's okay. Some sort of
water
that's
technically
great.
counts
That's
as a
fine.
liquid. Like, this would count if that's empty.
But it's an unspoken well, actually, there is documentation.
It's
so it's
spoken.
not an unwritten rule. And people do talk about it, so it's not an unspoken rule, but it's not a thing that's actually mentioned. It's rude as fuck. Don't clink and not drink. If you're gonna, like, ding, at least take a little tiny sip of whatever it is.
you'll
It doesn't,
slowly learn drinking.
doesn't fucking matter what it is. There the
Drinking
bitch of
etiquette.
etiquette will be introduced.
We'll
into
slowly
what we're fucking
introduce
doing.
drinking etiquette. 'Cause
Oh,
I
that's
had
gonna
learn
have to
it,
be a whole
but
episode. Alright.
we'll
So,
do that,
anyway.
after the Bellwether episode, we'll do a drinking etiquette episode. I grew up in a European family where they taught this stuff when I was little. Like, even if you had a cup of apple juice.
So his mom grew up in Germany, and the last day that she was in Germany was
The Berlin
the day
Wall went
the
down.
Berlin Wall fell down, or came down. No, it did not fall down. It was fucking
It came
down.
It came down.
Anyway, the last
Before
day
that.
that his mother was in Germany was the day the Berlin Wall came down. She was one of the very lucky people that was on one of the planes that decided to go to the U.S. and not the USSR.
Yep.
So she wasn't a political prisoner for several months. That's kind of cool. History's awesome,
Still
isn't
got
it?
radiation poisoning from Chernobyl.
Yeah, no, she still got radiation poisoning from some other shit. But hey, anyway.
I learned drinking etiquette when I was very young, because even when you were toasting with your family, if you had a cup of apple juice or like peach juice or whatever you have,
clink,
you clink, and you take at least a 2-second sip.
Like, it's got to be a little like, it doesn't have to be it doesn't
You
have
don't
to
need
be
to
a
like
glug.
chug it, like.
But just take a little, like, all right, yeah. But it's an etiquette thing.
Yeah.
If you're like, I don't fucking like that toast,
And then if you're
you can make a show of it if you want to. If you're like, I'm so completely opposed to the thing that you just toasted to, like, I'm sorry. I feel like an asshole if you're like sounding like that while I'm doing that, but it's just
Karen thing.
anyway, it's not just a Karen thing. It's a respect thing towards people that I know and I love, and it is mildly disrespectful to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But still,
I mean,
don't fucking clink and not fucking drink. It's real goddamn simple, motherfucker.
And if you want to follow Eastern European traditions, when you're toasting to someone who has died, you double the time you would normally drink. Like, if you're doing like a 2-second sip to get enough in your mouth that you have to swallow,
That's
and
not
that's
2
fine.
seconds. But anyway.
No, but alright, whatever. You're a seasoned drinker, you shush. If you're doing like a drink that would normally fill your mouth and you would have to swallow once, okay, that's fine for a normal toast. If you're toasting to someone else, you double it because you're taking one slug for you and one for the person who has passed away. That was a tradition I was taught when I was like 10 years old. They handed me like a thing of orange juice, but yeah, it was.
So normally it would be a sip. If you're hardcore on it, take a gulp.
Yeah,
That's
that's a single.
that. All right. No,
and if
there's-
somebody
there's-
died, you double it because you're taking a sip for them and you're taking one for you.
So that's why I would say there's a difference between a sip and a gulp.
Yeah.
Normally it'd be like a little, oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
But if you're like, yeah, dog your bag, yo. Hold, drink to that. And speaking of drinking, keep drinking.
Keep
And-
thinking.
Yeah. Keep drinking. Keep thinking. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Later.
I love Dr. Carrot. I like